Everybody, welcome to the SERPtech webinar. What we're going to do here today, guys, is we're going to demo this latest and greatest technology here in the mass page building sector. And we're also going to introduce you to one of our associates, one of our partners in this project. His name is Jason. Jason, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, guys. See, that's Jason there. He is the creator of SERPtech, and he's been working on this for several years now. He's been in the game of mass page building for quite some time, and wow, he came to us a little while back and showed us some of the results that he was getting, and some of the pages and some of the sites that were ranking really, really well. Across multiple different niches, just all kinds of proof. It just really blew our socks off. So we've been working with Jason for the better part of the first part of this year, and kind of putting our own 2 cents and our own thoughts into some of the things from maybe from a user experience standpoint, some things like that. And we think we've gotten to where right now it's really solid. And we definitely wanted to get it out to you guys and let you take a look at it and see what you think. We've also got Mr. Steven Vanderpaal online, but he's not having some technical difficulties at the moment unless he's there.
No, I'm all good. I'm all good.
Hey, Steven's back.
I'm here, man.
Hey, you are. Okay, cool. Well, everybody, this is what meets Steven. I know a lot of you already know Steven Vanderpaal. He's been in the business a while too, building a lot of great software as well. And he's going to hang out with us today and answer some questions if you guys have for him. I'll be in the chat box as well, answering any questions. Steven is going to be more vocal on Friday. On Friday's webinar, we're going to show some results of today's webinar and go over another software product on Friday. So Steven is going to be really vocal on Friday. But for now, Steven, tell us a little bit about what you're up to. What are you doing right now?
Just sitting here hoping that the GoToWebinar gods allow me to keep listening to everything. But yeah, it's 1 o'clock here. I know there's a few other people that are kind of late going as well. So shout out to all of those people. And just, enjoying the fresh air here in Switzerland, man.
Oh, that's right. Steven is the world traveler, guys. He visits all corners of the world on a different every couple of months, I guess. And I think you've been snowboarding there in Switzerland for a while, huh?
Yeah, exactly. For 2 months here, and before that I was a month in Bali. Before that I was in Thailand. Before that in India, and before that in Thailand again. And I can keep going on like that a bit.
Yeah, we get it. You're everywhere. You are the traveling man, but a hard worker. Steven does some really good things. And like I said, we're going to get more involved with Steven on Friday, so you guys do not want to miss Friday. We have got the latest and greatest technology in that area as well. So I guess without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Herc and Jason and let them show you all about SERPtech. Herc, are you there?
Yep, I am still here.
Cool.
All right, guys. So like Todd said, guys, I'll give you a general synopsis of why we're using 2 webinars and possibly even a third. What we want to do today is talk and not only talk about, but show you what SERPtech is and what it can do. Now, probably most of you on here are familiar with mass page building software, and I'm sure that everybody that is aware of the limitations of most of them. We all know about things like de-indexing. We all know about things like controlling the content on the pages and how to make them look really pretty so that your clients are happy with stuff like that. I mean, we know the limitations. We're all SEOs. Todd, myself, Steven, and Jason are all SEOs. So what we're trying to do here, guys, is take a look at all the other ones that are out there. They're out there for a reason. Okay, they work, but a lot of them have limitations. So what Jason's done here is absolutely outstanding. We're getting rankings. Jason mentioned this to me, and it kind of stuck in my brain. We're getting rankings that we haven't seen stuff like this for, I don't even know how long. It's been a long time to dominate the entire first page of Google And yes, we are sticking around. Yes, we can control the prettiness of the sites and stuff like that. And we're going to show you guys all of that, how SERPtech works. But the biggest thing that we wanted to do is absolutely prove to you that this build works. So we decided the best way to do that is actually to build a site for you guys using a brand new domain, and then we're going to come back on Friday because we're saying it takes 24 to 48 hours to see these results, and we want to prove that to you. And there's no better way to do that than to actually build a site for you. So that's what we're going to do, all right? And what I want to start with first, oh, there's how I get the nice full screen effect. Now I don't know how to get out of it. What I want to start with first, guys, is definitely some results. So this is the site that we're going to build on. But what I want to show you first is results. This is stuff that I'll pull this over here so I can go through it with you. These sites are the kind of sites that Jason came to us with and said, "Look what I can do. Look what I can do." And when he said that, we were like, "Holy shit! Like, this is unbelievable." Okay, so. I'm just going to go through these really quickly. There's a lot of examples. These are indexations of sites that Jason has built to show us, as well as to like provide examples. Okay, he's got 3,000 index pages here, and these are all with like 88-cent domains. We're buying these at Namecheap. We're just doing kind of a little branded domain with the .online. I use .pros. There's all kinds of little 88-cent domains we can do this with. Okay, here's another one, Crucial Online. It's got 1,100. Here's the monster. It's got 11,200 indexed results. Here's another one. These are all very, very recent, very, very new. I think they're not even maybe a week old. They're really, really new. This one's at like 836 results. But more importantly than the indexing is the results that these things are kind of getting, right? So let's go take a look at some of this stuff. So we're going to look at Fractal. Okay, and I can do this a couple ways. We could just start picking random shit out of the index sites, and we'll go to like Jefferson Hernia Mesh Lawyers, and we'll just search Google for that. Okay, and you see here, guys, 373,000 results, Fractal Law, Fractal Law. And Gemstone was another one I told you about that's on that list, Gemstone, okay? Crucial Law is a third one that I told you about. We're dominating the first page, okay? And that's just picking a random keyword out of there. So we do have some other ones that we can show you. Here's Bel Air Mesh Lawyers. Okay, we have Fractal Law, Fractal Law, Fractal Law. Okay, give you guys some really good, crazy examples. Mesh Lawyers, Fractal Law, Fractal Law, Fractal, 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 Fractal. Okay, these are absolutely dominating the first page. Now I know already from like that big ass thread that happened in the group, there's always those naysayers, those like critical frickin' Charlies. They're like, yeah, but they're shitty and who gives a shit because they don't have any traffic and they're easy to rank. Well, let me tell you something, guys. The people that say that sort of shit are missing the bigger picture, okay? Number one, these sites are dominating the first page in 24 hours. Now, if you can go out there and dominate the first page in 24 hours for you know, what are so-called shitty keywords, show me your results. I want to see it. I haven't seen anything like this in so long. Number two, we're ranking for hundreds of keywords that we know of, and probably hundreds more that we don't know of, okay? And now when you take a site that's got 11,000 index pages, you're going to rank for the keywords that you're targeting, but you're also going to rank for a shit ton of long tail stuff based on all the content on all the pages. You're ranking for a ton of stuff. Remember, this takes 24 to 48 hours. You're ranking for hundreds of keywords, and you can do it as many times as you want. You saw that last example where we're not just ranking with one site on the first page, we're ranking multiple sites on the first page. So these sites are sticking. We haven't seen any of these get de-indexed yet. And if they do get de-indexed for any particular reason, what do you got? You got another 20 minutes to build another site, okay? And that's what's going to happen. The other thing, guys, is like people that are saying shit like, you know, well, they're ugly sites or whatever. That's going to be Friday. We're going to show you what to do with these sites. Basically, guys, the idea is this. We're not building sites to, like, you know, make them really nice and spend a lot of time with the design and shit like that. We're building funnel sites here, guys. We're building sites that rank like crazy for hundreds of keywords in 24 hours, and we're going to move that traffic elsewhere. Okay, so that's going to be more Friday. I'll just give you guys a couple more examples here, just for a concept of proof. Okay, 32,000 results, crucial law, fractal law, fractal law, fractal law, fractal law, fractal law, fractal law. Guys, think about what you could do with these, okay? You could either rent them out to a lawyer. Let's say you had a lawyer that's like, you really know SEO, are you any good? You'd be like, give me 48 hours and $1,000. Actually, give me 48 hours, and if I can't do some massive damage in Google, you know, you give me $1,000 if I can prove it, okay, or something like that. You can impress clients with this. You can overlay a legitimate site with AdSense. So these terms, guys, let me tell you, anything surgical mesh or lawyer or litigator, anything in law or class action type lawsuit keywords, you guys have seen the CPCs on those keywords. They're absolutely massive. We're talking over $100 per click for those keywords. And I think you guys have seen my mesh lawsuit site. That was a little 5-page site. Had I built a site like this and sent that traffic over to my mesh lawsuit, I would have easily multiplied my income by a huge amount. So there's lots of things you can do here. You guys want to see more examples, or you want to get to a build? I see questions already like crazy. Okay, crucial law, crucial law, crucial law, fractal law, fractal law, fractal law, fractal law. We're owning. This is Jason, though, guys. He's really quite, obviously he's developed the software. He's very, very good at building. I'm nowhere near as good at building as he is, but I am getting the hang of it, and I'll show you that in a second. Here's Gemstone, another example. Here's one of my sites, guys, just to show you. Now, I was a newbie. Yeah, okay, someone's asking me to zoom in a bit. I was a newbie at building this. I had to kind of watch Jason build and then go and kind of learn it on my own. And I won't lie, it did take me a little bit. You know what I mean? I've done 11 site builds right now. I believe this site was my 4th. Okay, and I've got 2,330 results. And I had the pictures loaded here, but let me just show you guys. Basically, you guys, what you saw in the Facebook group where I said I'm ranking for all these keywords, that big ass group was that. I'm going to show that to you real quick though. Let me see my websites, SERPtech websites. Sorry, I had this loaded earlier, guys, but there we go. Images. Okay. Okay, so it's all these. And you guys can go search these if you want as well, okay? So I'm going to start, there's 7 pages here, guys. Asbestos prosecutors at Lunta. So I kind of hid it from you. I'm going to be so sneaky, right? I blurred out the fact that it was asbestoslaw.pro. And then everybody, it's so easy to find it because they just went and looked for asbestos prosecutor at Lunta, and they see #1 site and they know it's me, and then they get to go see it. But this is my 3rd or 4th build, guys, where I finally kind of grasped the concept of what to do. And look at my rankings, okay? These are all #1 rankings. This took like 24 hours, okay? Bunch of 2s, bunch of 3s, bunch of 4s, bunch of 5s. These are all for like asbestos lawyer and asbestos lawyer, asbestos litigator, asbestos settlement, asbestos claims, shit like that, okay? Super high CPC, super valuable keywords, okay? And we're ranking for a ton of them. Yeah, but this is shitty keywords is what everyone says. Sometimes you guys, like, come on. We're ranking for hundreds of them. And we did it in 24 hours, okay? So I get a little annoyed when people say that just because they aren't seeing the bigger picture. All right, does everybody get that? Give me one if you guys are getting that. And then we'll Jason, do you want to add anything there? Yeah, there's a lot of ones.
I think you kind of nailed it right there, never, it's been a long time since I've seen anyone dominate, page 1, page 2, and sometimes even page 3 with the same site, It's absolutely amazing what it does.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So guys, what I want to do now, you guys, I kind of want to show you the results first, but results aren't good enough, because you guys don't know what went into building this site. You don't know if I did anything sneaky to like boost up our webinar, make it look even better, right? So that's why what I want to do is actually
I think another good thing to point out, Herc, and I apologize if you already said this, but these are brand new sites with no backlinks.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's very, very important to remember that these are sites coming right out of the registration in 24 hours. and showing rankings for hundreds of pages. Now, all of you on here probably know a little bit about SEO and a little bit about backlinking and a little bit about, you know, tier 1 social profiles, things like that, that obviously always improve your rankings, and over time your domain gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, obviously these keywords are, you know, in a local market, you're going to have more competition as well as more volume in the much, much larger populated areas. And when we're doing SEO, we automatically understand that. Whenever we build a site targeting Los Angeles, New York City, Dallas, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, we know we're not going to rank on page 1 the first day no matter what you do, because there's just a lot of competition there and your domain needs to be a little bit stronger. But to prove that the way this technology builds the sites, structures the content, structures all of the on-page SEO is just phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it. And I know if you guys have been hanging around Herc and I for long enough, and most of you are Project Supremacy owners, you know why we created that product to begin with, and it was because it helped your money sites on-page SEO really kick ass. Okay, so you know how important your on-page SEO is, how important your H1 tags are, how important your URL structure is. All of those things is what you gotta have right in the first place, or you're never going to compete with anybody. But what this software does is automatically takes all that away from you, really, and you build these sites, and so the on-page comes out really, really perfect. And that's why these take over so awesomely in so many different areas with no backlinking power whatsoever. So just imagine what else you're going to get out of these once you start powering up those domains, just like you would do if you were trying to rank for one keyword. All right, but then I think another important point to make is these pages that are ranking in Google are going to get some traffic. Some more than others, some less than others. You know how it goes. But the point is that out of the gate, Google already likes the on-page factors of these sites and the content that's being generated. So keep that in mind whenever you're second-guessing everything. Just know that those things do matter.
And on that point of, you know, it's true, guys, you're not going to go out and rank for asbestos lawyer, you know, Phoenix out of the gate in 24 hours. Like, that's just literally not going to happen. But in this example right here, guys, Erie right here, asbestos prosecutor Erie is the fourth biggest city in Pennsylvania. It's got a population of 100,000 people. Scranton is the 5th biggest city in Pennsylvania. It's got a population of 75,000. Rockford right here is the 3rd biggest city in Illinois with 150,000. Joliet is the 4th biggest city in Illinois. Is there right there. Okay, it's 4th biggest city in Illinois, 147,000. Peoria is the 7th biggest city in Illinois, 100,000. You will rank for big cities, but to rank for, you know, Chicago or Phoenix or Dallas, like Todd said, the mega centers, you're gonna still have to do a bit of SEO, and that's fine, guys. Like Todd said, the point is coming out of the gate this aggressively and ranking that much that fast is something that hasn't been done before, or at least not since, you know, I don't know when, 2000 and something early. Like that's kind of the point of this. All right, so let's get to a build, you guys. I want to prove something to you guys. So the domain here that we're going to build today, guys, is called visionsobriety.pro, and it's basically an 88-cent domain I bought this morning. I was going to register the domain and set up all the hosting and shit like that live on the webinar, but just for the purpose of like making sure everything resolves, I had to like get it all set up. So that's the only part I'm going to miss. You can see the created date is 2017, March 29th, which actually is today. All right, so this domain was registered today, Vision Sobriety Pro. All right, and then for the setup on WordPress, guys, is very, very simple. I'll show you the plugins that I installed. and we're only going to use a couple plugins. So I have Project Supremacy. Okay, this is version 2. I do have V3 on here, but that's just testing. So Project Supremacy, SERPtech, Local Supremacy is on there because of Friday. We'll show you what that is, and Google X and all sitemaps. Actually, if I go to active plugins, it's a little better. So it's not like there's no big secrets here. Okay, there's nothing crazy going on in the back end. We'll just show you guys what happens. So that's really all I need. I also put AMP Supremacy on here because literally that's Todd and I's AMP plugin. I can turn on AMP as well, so I won't do that. I'll just show you guys the build, all right? So here it is. Here's SERPtech. Are you guys ready though, first of all? Too many people are asking questions. I'm going to answer all your questions in the next 20 minutes by doing this build. Okay. All right, guys, the first thing we're going to do, we need content. Okay, so remember, we're doing, let me just refresh my brain here for a second. I'm going to just load my folder. I want to make sure I'm grabbing the right type of content. So my SERPtech sites, and we're doing vision sobriety. So we're going after rehab keywords here, okay? Rehability. Let's do drug rehab. Okay, so I'm going to scrape that. I'm going to pull in, say, 15 articles. Okay, I'll pull it in HTML formatted content. The titles of each of the articles, I'm going to use them as H2s, and then if I wanted to limit the content length, I could, but I'm not going to. Jason will slap me if I do that. Actually, guys, I'm testing some new stuff to like limit characters so I can put in a lot of paragraphs. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. So we're grabbing content from eZine articles for the keyword of drug rehab, which is what this site is about. So content was generated, okay? So we're going to go over to our articles just to make sure everything's nice and tucked away in there. Okay, there they are. That's what we just grabbed. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to grab 5 more articles based on like alcohol rehab, because this site is alcohol rehab, because we're doing like drugs and alcohol rehab for vision sobriety. So once again, I'll pull in the HTML stuff. I'm going to pull them in all as H2s because we all know how much H2s are important on your pages. We're going to use those later. And I'm just going to grab full articles. And I guess I'm grabbing 10. I was going to only grab 5, but 10 is fine. All right, you guys, here we go. Done. Okay, so now I'm gonna head back. Now these things down the left, guys, we built it so that it happens in a very logical fashion. You generate your articles, you go look at your articles, you want to see if there's anything in there you don't really like, you know what I mean? But there they all are. Okay, the next thing is your headers. So those are the articles, the headers that we pulled in. We pulled them in as H2s. If you wanted to, you could have randomized them between H1 and H5, or you could do that here. H2s I like to use. So I just like to go through the titles here and just make sure everything's kind of, you know, I don't want to see any sites about fixing cars or something that's way out of base. It's a lot of drug rehab stuff, rehab centers, alcohol, free alcohol rehabs. Looks good to me, okay? So we're going to move on. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to import keywords, okay? And we're going to use these keywords for images on our site because we're obviously going to use images, and images have alt tags and names, so we're going to actually import keywords. Another thing I did, guys, is I did do a little bit of homework because I didn't want to sit here. We can do searches for this. Okay, this is what I basically did, rehab. All right, so it brings up a bunch of rehab keywords. And remember, these keywords you're going to be using for alt tags in your images. So you would just go through and pick a bunch of stuff and then save it. Okay, but I created a database earlier, so I'm just going to import that. Whoa, I don't want to show you too much stuff. See like my naked bum or something. Okay, so my build, vision sobriety, I'm going to upload my alt tags. Okay, so you can also upload a list. So I'm uploading a list right now. And you guys will see the keywords when they're success. Okay, and it's just going to refresh and load. There's all my keywords, okay. Notice they're all like about rehab and shit like that. Okay, very good stuff. So we're just going to make sure those are saved. Now we're going to go after some images. We need images on our sites. We need content. We need header 2 tags. we need images, we need alt tags. So I'm going to search for images. We need rehab. So I'll just search for rehab images. Somebody just said our SERPtech logo looks like a Viagra logo. You start slow, but you get bigger over time. That's pretty funny. So there's a rehab. This girl, obviously, Rihanna, she definitely needs to go to rehab. This guy, you know, he's doing cocaine on the shitter. Come on, buddy, you need to go to rehab. You can click all, guys. It really, the images doesn't matter. You can just click all and then kind of go through, and if you see anything that you really don't like all these shopping bags, maybe that's a shopping addict or some shit like that. I don't know. There's rehab, a bar. You can get rid of them. This forest, you know, maybe that's a nice place to go. This guy's looking at him. He's thinking about his whole life. I'll keep that one. So I'll just keep all these, actually. I don't even care. I'll just get rid of like some really dumb shit. These guys party way too hard. They need to go to rehab. This is where like rehab crack addicts come to do their drugs. Yeah, he's definitely. So, okay, whatever. We'll just keep those images, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the selected images. Okay, it doesn't really matter how many. We got a few. I think we got like 20 or 30 images here. And you can see the little wheel spinning. We're saving the images. What this is doing is it's pulling the images in. All right. This does take a little bit longer than the other stuff just because it's images and it's saving them to your WordPress. All right, there they are. All right, now we're going to make sure we save those. Now each image, remember, for an SEO factor, each image has a title and an alt. The last step we imported a database of keywords, but I showed you how you could have just put in the word rehab and then checked off the ones you want. Had you done that, it saves them in your database. I imported them into the database, same thing. So we're just going to pull the keywords from the database now. All right, and it's going to randomly assign, out of that big ass list of keywords, it's going to randomly assign a keyword to each title and alt tag of every image. All right, so you can see it did that for us. So now that's all done. We're going to click Save Images. All right, guys, so now we're set up to build. Okay, we have our content. We have our nice H2 tags. We have our images with all their like keywords and shit in them. It's very, very randomized. So now this is it. There's 4 steps to a build, okay? Now, there's a couple of options on each step, but basically the 4 steps are this. Tell us what you want to build. Set up a homepage template because every site has a homepage. Set up your categories pages. Okay, those are categories, and then set up your posts. So we'll go over each one of those. We do have best practices here for anybody that's coming in new on what you should do on each step. Your WordPress best practices, guys, I'll tell you right now, is very simple. Your permalink structure is category post name, which is a pretty common thing. Okay, everybody kind of should know about that. I don't need to do anything. Category base and tag base, you can leave that blank if you want. It doesn't really matter. I did with asbestoslaw.pro. I left it blank. But if you want your URL structure, instead of showing category, it can show a word like, say, maybe locations. You can change a category base, and then tags. Instead of showing tag or whatever, you can change it. You can even do something like a near me, okay, if you wanted to, because everybody, you guys all know about the near me shit. And that's basically it for your WordPress best settings. One other thing you should check just to be safe is make sure in your settings you're reading, make sure that your search engine visibility is unticked. You don't want this ticked because this says discourage search engines from indexing, and you definitely want to encourage them. So let's go back to our builder. I'm just using a standard WordPress theme like 2016. I'm not using anything special here. All right, guys, so the way we're going to build this is we're going to do posts. We can select to build a lot of pages or posts, but I'm going to build with posts. If you wanted to backdate it, you could. So far, I've kind of felt like backdating doesn't really do much for it anyways, so I choose not to backdate it. Now, we want to upload our geolocations file. What this is, guys, is what areas do we want to target. So I'm going to actually pull this back over here, and I'm going to show you guys the correct formatting for a geolocation. Okay, so we're going to target 2 states in all the big cities in each state. We're going to target California and Arizona for rehab. Okay, so we put the categories on the top, which is basically the state. Now, if you guys were doing something you wanted to rank for each state in a country, this would be USA, and then all the states would be underneath. Or if you wanted to rank for all the suburbs of a city, you would put the city at the top and all the suburbs underneath, okay? So I put in California as the category, the top of the category silo, and Arizona. We're only targeting those 2 states. Some people are asking why I have it in twice, because I do want to create a page for California rehab and California rehab centers and shit like that. I also want it for that. So that's what it looks like, okay? So that's what we're going to import right now. There's 3 things we need to import. Our locations, and that is this CSV. We need to import our keywords. So basically the way you can think of it like this, guys, locations and then keywords. So basically city service or service city, Phoenix plumbers, California rehab centers. Does everybody get that? Give me a 1 if you get that. This part's a little important. We do have explanations here, but I mean it is a little bit important. City service, city service. Okay, so we're going to upload our keywords, and I'll give you guys an actually I'll show you the keywords as well. Might as well show you the insides of all the CSVs. Let me pull this over for 1 second. There we go. Okay, so here's my keywords list. Right, I'm just going to open that up, and you can see, so we're targeting alcohol rehab Phoenix, drug rehab Phoenix, rehabilitation center Phoenix, addiction rehab Phoenix, or Phoenix alcohol rehab, Phoenix drug rehab. Okay, so I got a bunch of these keywords. Okay. Then the tags, guys, basically tags are going to be like LSIs of the keywords. So like for one of the examples I like to think of is if you were targeting like Phoenix plumber, your tags could be things like what kind of services do plumbers offer, like fix leaky toilet or fix cracked pipes, like shit that plumbers do, because we're going to create tags as well. And those work really good as LSIs for your keywords. If plumber is the keyword, leaky pipe is the LSI, okay? And for those of you that do end up getting a hold of SERPtech and local, we're going to do lots of training on how to do proper keyword research and how to separate keywords and tags and all that stuff, because I'm sure everyone might be wondering. But anyways, I'm going to upload tags. Might as well open it so you guys can see it as well. Okay, I'm only doing 15 tags. You can see local rehab centers, live-in drug rehab centers, rehab addiction for drugs, shit like that. So I'm going to upload those and then kind of summarize what I did here because I'm talking a lot. I'm doing posts. These are the locations. These are the service-based keywords, and these are the synonyms for those keywords. That's it. Okay, so if I wasn't talking, that literally would have taken like 10 seconds. Now, okay, now we have to build a homepage template. Okay, now one of the things you want to do, once again, we have up here, we have best practices to kind of guide you guys. Here's what you should have on each one to get your maximum result. You want a bit of static content. So here's what I do for static content. I actually just go back to my articles. Okay, and I just grab one. Static content means it's static content. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. Okay, and I'm going to go back to text because this is HTML formatted. And now I'm going to go back to my visual. So there's my static content. I don't need so much of it, but so what I'll do is I'll get rid of drug rehab is the umbrella term, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so we'll just get rid of all that too. So there's a bit of static content. Then we're going to put in maybe a nice picture. Okay, so we have these little tags up here. I'm going to insert a random image. That's it. That's all I have to do. So it's going to grab one of those random images with the alt tags. Then I'm going to make this a little bigger. I'm going to insert a random H2. Okay, and then maybe I'll put in now a nice long article, a random article. So we have a bit of static content, and we have an image, we have an H2, we have a random article, and maybe I'll even do one more H2 and one more article. That's it, okay? Tags, everyone knows what tags are, so I'm going to add tags to the post. Just like this, I select what shortcode I want to use and where is it going to go. Just click it. You can see tags got added there. And then made a description. I'm just going to write the best drug and alcohol rehab centers in where are we? What are we doing? California and Arizona. That's about it. That's all I got to do there. Now we're thinking about building a silo. So you want to link your homepage into your categories because everybody knows silo structure is really good. So the way I do it is I just put a little line there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try and make it a little better. And then I'm going to put in a categories tag. Okay. Whoops, I added that to tags. So let me grab that. There we go. There. Oh, damn it. What did I do? Oh, it's there. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. This is live though, guys, so remember, I'm not going to do everything perfect here. That's about it. So what we have here, guys, is some static content, some random shit. We have some H2, some articles. Maybe I'll put in another image to break it up a bit, actually. Okay. And then this categories just creates a link to the top of my category silo. So there's going to be a link to Phoenix and a link to Arizona. Okay. And that's it for the homepage. Very simple. Category template. So this is basically your category pages, guys. So category name is going to be the top of it. So either the state or the city if you're using suburbs, the state if you're using cities, the city if you're using suburbs, etc. Okay, so I'm going to add that to the title. You can see it popped in there. I'm going to add it to the URL. It's going to pop in there. And then content, I am going to grab another random article. So what I'm going to do, guys, is create a little bit of geo-relevance for each state. All right, so I'm just going to grab this article here. Now remember, we're building the top of the page, the state page, okay? So it's very easy to get addicted nowadays, especially in state. The state that we're in. So I'm going to add this to content. And I'll bold that just to show that, you know, there's a little bit of relevance there. So that's going to end up saying it's very easy to get addicted nowadays, especially in Phoenix. And then the other one will say, especially in California. There are lots of families, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter. What I can do now is I can either go grab a random I like to do an H2 with the state name in it as well, so I'll go to headers and we'll do what are drug rehab programs. I'll grab that one. And I'll change it a bit. What drug and alcohol rehab programs exist in state? And then we'll grab that and we'll make it an H2. Right? I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to add an image, random image, doesn't matter. Here it looks like it's setting up for an article, so I'm going to grab a random article. I'm going to put in another random image and then one more random article. Okay? Tags, once again, very simply, I'm going to add tags to my tags post. I should actually probably finish this. There's one more thing you guys want to do here. Now, this is the top of the page, the top of the silo, so your state pages. So I'm actually going to do my little thing here. Now I want to link into my posts, right, from my category. So what I'm going to use here, guys, is this children tag, a list of all children poster pages. So this is my Arizona page, and I'm going to link to every post that I create with one short code. So we're going to add that to content. And if you ever get lost, just open up this best practices. Add some geo-relevance, add some random content and images, link to your categories, and link to your homepage. Okay? It'll keep you nice and in line. To link to your homepage is very easy. Home URL, add it to content. Now that's done. What do you think, Jason? Except for the tags and meta. That's content done though.
Yeah, I think just missing the tags and meta. Scroll up a bit.
We could do a keyword in here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to add a keyword. This is going to grab a random keyword, guys, from that keyword list and add it to it. So it's going to be something like Phoenix Rehab Centers. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that.
All right. So I'm good. I'm good. If I wanted to, guys, I could add a little more relevance because remember, we're adding a lot of content here, and you're going to be okay. Right now, I'm only saying, you know, Phoenix and California once in my content, once in a header. So, and then I have another, what, 2 or 3 articles. So like, I'm not over optimizing for that, that state, that geo relevance. So I can do more. It's fine. And I will.
Before you leave that page, Herc, I got something to say about it.
Yeah, okay, I'll just do the posts and then families in, we'll bold that, families in category name. All right, guys, and then we're going to do our metas, okay? Tags are pretty simple. Basically, just add tags. And you guys remember I added that created that list of tags. Okay, there's my tags. These are the LSIs of plumber. This is like leaky faucets and shit like that. And then our description. The kind of nice thing here, guys, is that tags are working really, really well in the description, right? And I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to do 5 tags, because if you add a number with a space, it'll only grab 5 tags instead of do them all. And Todd, just before I get to you, Jason, how do you feel about this setup?
Okay, scroll up slightly.
In here.
Yeah.
So we got some geo-relevance. We got a little bit more geo-relevance. We got a random image, some more static. We got an H2 with geo-relevance, then random article, random image, random article, children linking into our post, and then our home URL.
Yeah, that's good to go.
All right, Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to touch a little bit about on the content. I'm seeing a few questions in here about, you know, a couple things. Number one, you know, where you're getting content from, and as you saw in the beginning, we were scraping it from various places online, and that's where it's coming from. Number two, it does support spin tax. It does have a built-in spinner thing that allows you to do the spin on there. I don't think that we've been using that too heavily, have we, Herc?
I used it once and I didn't really care for it.
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to mention about the duplicate content, because everyone has, you know, their own opinion about it, and from my experience over the last 10 years, duplicate content, using someone else's duplicate content is really kind of a myth. What the duplicate content penalty really is, it's duplicate content on your own site. All right, that's number one. That's when it really hurts you. Now, if you take someone's article and put it on a page, and someone else's article is already ranking on page 1 for that exact same article, then no, you're probably not going to rank. Are you going to get a penalty? No, but you're not probably going to outrank the original author. I mean, Google understands that it was there first. They also have, you know, a meta tag for the author as well. The second thing I want to mention here is that Google gauges the content of a page by the entire page, okay? And so if you'll notice, if Herc, you'll scroll back up to the top of this article, you'll notice that he put in some static content, which means he just took it from somewhere else. He got a couple of links in there, a couple of category names in there to make it geo-relevant, and then he's got a random image, some more static content that probably came from somewhere else, and now you see he has another 2 more random articles, okay? Now, this makes this page 100% unique to any other page on the internet. I'll bet my life on that. So don't really worry at all about that. Just know that this works, and kind of forget about some of those duplicate content myths that you've been taught by all those white hatters out there that don't make any money online except telling you that duplicate content's a penalty, and go ask people for backlinks.
I actually have a really good kind of thing to add to that. When I was learning how to build this, guys, I had a lot of preconceived notions about what needed to be done as far as SEO, and we would get I would tell Jason, well, maybe we should do this and maybe we should add that. And the fact of the matter was that my sites weren't doing quite as well as his, and what was hurting me was my preconceived notions about what needed to be done in SEO. And he said, look, Herc, I've given you something that already works. Why are you trying to break it? And it's true, because with that Asbestos Pro site, when I just was like, all right, let's just do it the way it should be done and not overthink it. Let's really not overthink it. The first thing I should do is just really build according to the suggestions, and then it kicked ass. So everybody that's worried about spin tax and dupe and stuff like that, just try to put those aside in your brain and just watch what's happening here, okay, guys? All those results you saw, guys, were the same. Were the same idea of what we're doing right here. Okay, there's nothing different that happened. All right, just
is it okay if I just quickly interject as well? One of the things Herc hasn't told you yet is the application handles 42 different languages. So, it's not an application that you can just take for the UK, Australia, America. There's 42 different languages which the application supports. So, literally the world is your oyster with using this application.
Yeah. I just don't speak any other languages, so I have to build in English. But all you other people out there have a big advantage. Huge advantage, actually. Huge. All right, guys, I just want to summarize the steps we've taken here just to kind of catch you up. Number one, we uploaded our files. We uploaded our cities in our states. Okay, in one file, we uploaded the keywords that we're going to rank. So city, state, so city service, sorry. And then we uploaded some LSIs for those keywords. Then we built a homepage template, and then we built the top of the state category, so the page silo. That's all we've done so far. Okay, a lot of talking. This shouldn't really take this long at all. We have one final step to build the site out. Now we're going to build the posts. These are what we're actually going after for the keywords. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do add the keyword to the title. I'm going to add the keyword to the URL. Okay. And then I'm also going to add the post name. Now the post name, guys, is going to be the city that we're targeting. So, and it says right here, if anybody's like, well, what's post name? It says right here, the name or the title of the current post. Typically, the next row is in your geo spreadsheet city name. It kind of tells you what it is. So we're going to add the post name now to the title. And what I'm doing down here, guys, just a little shortcut rather than copying and pasting. You can see up here, I'm going to press the blue button. It's going to appear there. Boop. So it's nice and easy. All right. So that covers our title and our URL. So this is basically going to be rehab, drug and alcohol rehab, Tempe, Arizona. Actually, that's another thing I'm going to do. Category name is the state. I'm going to add that as well to the title, but not the URL. The URL already has it as the category name of the URL back there. You'll see. Okay, content. Once again, guys, I'm going to need a little bit of static content, and there's a reason why. So I'm going to go back to my articles. And earlier, Todd, when you were mentioning where I get my content from, all I did was scrape it. And when I go to get static content, I just come into here to grab it. Choosing a drug and rehabilitation is a positive step. I like where this is headed. Okay, so I'm going to grab it to here. I don't need the whole article. Okay, so I'm going to put in some static content. Okay, so let's kind of do what, good practices. Add some geo-relevance. Choosing a drug and rehabilitation. Choosing drug addiction rehabilitation. Okay, I'm going to just change it up. Or alcohol, drug. Choosing drug or alcohol addiction rehabilitation in city, which is post name. So we're going to add that to the content. And I'm actually going to bold this all because it's all really good. It's good. There are many rehabilitation centers available in, there's another opportunity. So I'll just do it. Well, actually, I'm going to skip it right there. So I'll do more geo-relevance. The next thing, guys, is we're going to do, in order to get our spidering the entire site, the reason why we're getting so many indexes is because we interlink properly with silos. So I'm going to link to a next post. Okay, so I'm going to take this Rehabilitation Center, and then I'm going to go here and I'm going to say I want to link to the next post, right? And that spider, when it hits the post, it's just going to go all over the damn place. So that's Rehabilitation Centers for next post. And then here's Drug Rehabilitation Program. I'm going to make that previous post so that we're always spidering all over. All right, so there's our next post and our previous post. I'm going to add a little more geo-relevance. If you are on the lookout for a, I'm going to put it right here, post name. I'm going to add to content. Post-nab rehab, city rehab center. I'll bold that. All right, I think we need an image in there. I'll make this a little bigger here so we can see what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to put an image right here, break it up a bit. So I'm going to use a random image. Okay, I can even do a random H2 here. Okay, that'll do a random header too from our thing. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do another image, random image. Okay. I'm going to do, I'll shrink this up a bit so you guys can see the buttons I'm using. So random image, I'm going to do another random H2, or I can do, if I wanted to, I could do another geo-relevance. So I'm going to go back to my headers and find another nice header that we can add our city name into. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to replace the word state with. So I'm going to put this in there, how to get state-funded rehab, but I'm going to change this to how to get, I'm going to erase state, and I'm going to use post name instead. So how to get Tempe funded rehab, or how to get, you know, all the states, or sorry, all the cities is going to show up here. Then I'm going to make it an H2. So it's going to be a randomized H2 by doing what I've done, because it'll always change that post name. Then we're going to do another random article. Lots of content. Google loves content, so we'll get lots. So let's see where we're at. So we have some geo-relevance. We have a next link. We have more geo-relevance. We have a random image, a random H2. We have our previous link. Okay, we have a random image again. We have another H2 with geographic relevance to the city. Did I use state up there? I'm going to actually do city and state on that H2. Okay, how to get Phoenix, Arizona funded rehab. That's what that post name category is. Let's go back up here. So we want to add geo-relevance, done. We want to add static content for the purposes of interlinking to previous and next post, that's done. We want to add random content and images, that's done. And then we want to link back to the top of the category. So here we go, guys. Remember in your silo building, at the bottom of your silo, what do? You link back to the top of the silo. So I'm going to put my little, this is just my habit of putting that little line in there. So category URL is what we use, the raw URL of the parent category. And we're going to add that to content. So now we have a URL back to the top of the category. So this article is all about Phoenix, Arizona. This URL is going to go back to Arizona. And then we're going to put in a home URL. Pretty simple. Okay, you guys got that so far? It's just like a zillion questions. Don't worry, somebody's answering them. Okay, one last thing, guys. That's good for content. Jason, are we good on content here?
Yeah, you're pretty good.
Pretty good. I think we're good.
Okay, well you better than last week.
Better? Yeah, I'm getting better for sure. How many articles do we have in here? Let's see. I have one kind of half static and then one random article. So I'm actually going to do more. I'm going to put in another random H2 and another article. Okay, there. Now we have 2.5 full articles on every post. There. And if that ain't good, I don't know what is. Tags, once again, very easy, guys. Add tags to tags. Okay, and even meta description, adding tags as your meta description has been proving to work really, really well. Should we go that way, Jason? Should we just do tags here? Or?
Yeah, I would probably just utilize tags in the tags, and obviously tags in the meta again.
Yeah, so Jason's builds are kicking ass right now, so I'm going to just go with his way. One of the things I was trying, guys, is like, once again, I do want to put an asterisk before I say this, is that I'm a very overthinking SEO. I mean, for instance, I've showed you guys other sites of mine where I was very, very aggressive with having my keyword in the title, the URL, the description, and the H1. And it worked. And you can do that with this setup if you just, if you want to. There are options in here. I'm not going to do it on this particular build, but I, of course, twisted Jason's arm to be able to do that. And I have a site being built and waiting for indexing right now that I'll show you guys on Friday if that test worked or not, being overly optimizing. But this setup here, guys, what it's doing is it's randomizing everything so that you're not, there's no danger of over optimizing, okay? So that's it. So let me just go back and make sure everything's good. We'll redo us. We have our geo, we have our keywords, we have our tags. We're going to do posts. Our homepage template has static content, it has random content, and it links to categories, which is the silo, tag, and description. All right, our pages, which is our category tops, has category name and keyword, which is going to be like Phoenix drug and alcohol rehab. Our URL on this first level is going to be Phoenix. Then we add geo relevance, we added random content and images. We link to our categories, our posts, sorry. All our posts, all the Arizona posts are going to show up here on our pages. And we linked back to the home URL for tags and meta description. We just use tags. Super simple. Okay. And then for posts, once again, our title is going to be something like alcohol and drug rehab in Phoenix, Arizona. Our URL is going to be visionsobriety.pro/Arizona/alcohol rehab Phoenix. So it all makes sense. It's all very, very URL structured very, very well. We have our geo-relevance, our static content, our random content and images. We have our next and previous links for spider kind of bait. And we have our category URL, which links back to the top of the post. And then tags and tags for meta description. That's it, guys. That was it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to save the build, just in case anything goes wrong, and I'm just going to call it March 29th. And you can save at any step along the way. All right, guys, now that whole process, because I'm explaining everything, took, I don't even know how long I've been talking, maybe 35, 40 minutes. Once you guys aren't, you don't have to explain anything to anyone when you're building. It should only take you about like 15 or 20 minutes. It's really fast. Okay, so now it's built. Now we're going to build it. All we're going to do is click build.
Yeah, I was definitely going to point that out too, Herc. I know. So, guys, he's been working on this site and talking through it and, going back and forth with me and others. And that took about 50 minutes, maybe 45 minutes total. And, once you just build a couple of these and you kind of know, the steps like Herc just showed you there, they really do only take about 20 minutes a piece.
Yeah, and you know what? If they did take 45 minutes and I ranked, I got those kind of rankings for 45 minutes of work, it would still be worth it.
True enough. Yeah, it does, it is, you probably do want to eyeball your content some, and since you are scraping, you just want to make sure that, it's in the ballpark. It doesn't have to be exactly about that keyword, but something in there with it. So you do want to eyeball it a little bit. I would say spend 10 minutes on eyeballing your content and your articles, just to make sure that it's going to be good. So hopefully this will complete. How many keywords did you use here?
75 keywords and 15 tags.
Okay.
And 2 states, probably 30 or 40 cities, probably more actually, probably like 50 cities across 2 states for. So think about that, guys. That's the multiplication factor. 75 keywords across 50 or 60 cities in 2 states. Can't even do the math. You'll have to see it when it happens. But I saw someone, Doug, you cheeky bugger. He said, yeah, but you have to build a spreadsheet.
Yeah, you have to copy and paste keywords. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Like, honestly, keyword research, depends how good you are at it, but doesn't take that long, guys. Literally, if it took you all day to build a site like this, it's still worth it. It won't, but that keyword research and just creating a CSV, literally.
Dude, we spent 20 minutes max getting those keywords earlier. Oh, here we go. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Cool.
Okay, guys. Let's go take a look at what we've built.
Another comment I want to make, guys, is I know that some of you say, well, some of that's not going to read correctly because random content, those sites are ugly. Okay, that part's coming on Friday. We might give you a little demonstration, a little sneak peek today, but don't worry about what it actually looks like because no humans are actually going to see these sites once you see what we got coming next.
Plus, they're not that ugly. And the content is good. Like, it's not... Okay, the thing with spun content, guys, spun content reads like shit. Even to Google. Google will read this content and be like, yeah, that shit makes sense. Spun content, honestly, is such fucking crap. Rehab, so where we're at, guys, let's look at URL structure. VisionSobriety.pro is kind of like a brand name. I bought it for 88 cents. I showed you guys that. Then we created our URL structure. So in Arizona, and now we have cocaine rehab centers in Fountain Hills, which is a city in Phoenix, just outside of Phoenix. Jeremiah, if you're on the call, he lives there. Okay, so we have rehab facilities in Fountain Hills, Arizona. Fountain Hills. Okay, then we have an image. Then we have another little header. Then we have links that are leading back to this post, that post, more images. Another how to get Fountain Hills, Arizona funded rehab. Okay. James, it doesn't matter, man. He's saying the first sentence, second paragraph isn't correct. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Okay. This site isn't being built to be a site that, you show a client and you say, look, I built this awesome, amazing site. I'm a good designer and shit like that. This is Google food. Okay? You have to understand that, guys. And I know it's hard. To be honest, I know it's hard. Like, ask Jason how hard I fought him on, like, let's do this and let's do that. And he's like, God damn it, man, just build a fucking site. Like, so you guys can see how this is all looking, okay? Looks really good. Now, that's how long the site took to build. It took us like whatever. There's one more step, guys, okay? We're gonna index it. One more thing that we have built into this plugin, like I know a lot of people have all these indexing services or whatever, but we built one in, and I just need to go get my YouTube API because I didn't do that, so give me 1 second. This little settings tab.
And for all of those asking about videos earlier, this is where it's at.
API keys. I'm grabbing my YouTube API key. Oh, am I in the wrong one? Oh, I'm logged into Todd's account. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry. Here,
What?
go stare at an account page here for a second. Now, what I gotta ask you guys right now. Okay, go and visit that site if you want. Do not. Okay, if you guys want to fuck up this whole experiment, do not do a site search. Okay, you'll screw it up for everybody else. Do not do a site search for this site. Give me a 1 if you hear me. Do not. I can't stress the importance of this enough. If you guys want to see the proof of this thing ranking in the next 2 days, do not search Google for this site. Do not do site:/search. Don't do that. Some dumbass is probably going to do it. Hopefully not. Well, if that guy does it, then this site won't work for you guys as well. But let me grab my API key. I really want to stress that. All right, so one last thing, guys. One last step to getting these things to run. We put in our YouTube API key. These are free to get. Okay, and then Other plugins, you know, you might have to buy other services or whatever to index it. Jason has went ahead and built a great indexer in here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to build this. All you need to worry about for settings is we're going to click next. I didn't even touch anything there. We're in rehab. We're in the rehab market. So I'm going to do a search for rehab so that it's relevant sitemap. And then my settings, I'm going to display a normal player, use video thumbnail, hide the featured image, hide the video. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to click next. It's going to ask me what my sitemap size is. I'm going to do, how many do you think I should do, Jason? Like 200? It was like a 600 page site, I think.
There's 600 in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for 250 should do.
250? Okay.
Yeah, that should do.
This is the amount of pages that we're going to send as bot food. There's 334 posts, somebody just said. Shit. Well, 250 is good anyways. Okay, so we're going to build that. Actually, there's one more step I want to do before I actually execute this. I kind of forgot. I'm going to put Google XML sitemap on it. Rafal, and nobody can see what you're typing, only us, but Rafal wants you guys to know, do not do a fucking site search for this site, please, because you'll screw it up for everyone else. So thank you. We will show you guys. Why will it screw it? Because Google, if you're going in site searching, I don't really know why. Jason knows more about this than I do. They just don't like it when you're already trying to see your site in their index without, you know, them doing it on their own. You're trying to look at shit and you're tipping them off. Okay, let's put it that way. You're tipping off Google, hey, I'm about to do this thing to this thing, and then they'll come and they'll see that tip off, and then they'll be like, yeah, well, we're Google. We're not going to index that. Okay, that's it. That's done, guys. All I have to do is click notify Google and notify Bing, and that's it. It's done. But Jason, should I build that sitemap first with Google XML sitemaps? Forgot.
Yeah, definitely put the sitemap in first.
Kind of forgot that step, guys. So Google XML sitemap plugin, you guys all know about this one. So notify Google, notify Bing, add the sitemap URL to the robots, blah, 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 blah. Do you mess with these at all? I mean, you definitely want to include your tags in your categories. Do you mess with your frequencies or priorities at all?
To be honest, I just build and go. Just move on to the next site.
Yeah, I know. There's me overthinking it. Okay, I'm going to just update it then, guys. Okay, and then I'm going to notify, Bing was successfully notified, Google was successfully notified. So that's it to build the sitemap. Now all I'm going to do is for the SERPtech shit, I'm going to notify Google, I'm going to notify Bing. Okay, guys? Done. That's it. That's literally it. That's all we got to do. Now we sit back for 24 to 48 hours and we do not search that site. You can look at it, but do not search it if you guys want, you know, shit to happen. And we'll prove it to you on Friday. So you guys saw that I registered this today, this morning. You just saw me build it. So now in, oh, and by the way, for everyone that's like thinking, you know, these are hard terms to rank for, by the way. A lot of these are hard. Drug rehab and shit is pretty competitive. So I don't know what we're going to get out of this. But it is pretty competitive, but I'm sure that even if I didn't get a ton of first page rankings that I wanted, I could just build like 3 or 4 links and I'd be ranking for a ton of great shit. So these keywords, another note, guys, the keywords that I chose, the tags that I chose, as well as the post tags and the image and alt tags, all those keywords that I chose, I did my research in the AdWords tool and I made sure all of them had volume. I made sure all of them had a lot of people buying those clicks elsewhere, and I made sure that they had a high CPC. It's a very valuable site, is the point of that. It's got search volume for every keyword. A lot of people are spending money on those keywords. My dog's excited about it. And that's it, guys. There's nothing for sale here today, by the way. I see everybody like, I want it. That's good that you want it, but we're not done here, guys, because the point of the next webinar, okay, we'll do a little bit of Q&A here, but the point of the next webinar is to prove to you guys what this build today did. Like we said earlier, we wanted to put our asses on the line and really, really show you really live what it can do. Hopefully nobody goes and screws it up by doing that site search. We'll show you on Friday, and then we're also going to show you like everybody that thinks, well, these sites suck and they're ugly and I can't control them and my clients are never going to want this crap and all that. For those people, here's what we're going to give you guys, an education on what to do with this now, okay? And let's just give you a quick example.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah,
a lot of people are asking, you know, like, what do you do with this now? And the point is to get the rankings, to get the traffic. And then when you get the traffic, it's your choice for how you want to monetize that. You can send it to an AdSense site with great content, great feel, and some AdSense links and things like that. Or you could send it to a lead gen form, an opt-in mechanism for maybe a local client or a service. Or you could just send it to a client site and say, here, you know, now you got more traffic to your site. Maybe you're paying them, maybe they're paying you for traffic or something, or paying you per visitor, something like that. Or you can send them to a pay-per-call site. There's sites out there such as Ring Partner, who will pay you X amount of dollars per phone call. Go to offervault.com and look at pay-per-call CPA offers, and then build a site, send them to a big landing page that has a guy standing there that says, call this number, pointing at it, right? Or, you know, then they click and they call that number or whatever, and you get paid when that phone rings. So there's many different ways of monetization once you get the traffic.
All right, here's the example, guys. I'm going to put something in your chat box. It's a keyword. You just saw me search it. What I want you to do is search that keyword in Google, okay? And you can see this is my site, asbestoslaw.pro. You already know that. Go ahead and search that keyword. If you're very curious about whether these sites really rank for a lot of keywords, what you can do for this one, you can go ahead and do the site Asbestos Law Pro search so that you can bring up all the rankings, and then just start grabbing shit like this, okay, and do search Google for mesothelia, alomia, etc. in Chester. And there we are, number 1, number 2 for that random ass keyword.
That's so huge.
And here's, oh, we already did Chester. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong page. Back to my site. These are all mine. Mesothelia litigation in Zion. I don't know where Zion is. We'll Google search for that. Okay, so we're number 1 right there. So go ahead and here's the point, guys. Go do any of those searches and then click on it. Okay, here, I'll do it for you. But I wanted you to do it yourself. Here's what happens. You guys see that? So those ugly sites that everyone's worrying about, and you know, there was some comments about, well, you know, you had your formatting wasn't wrong, or whatever you saw in there that you thought, you know, you typically thought that's not right. It doesn't. If clients aren't going to like it, this or that, it doesn't matter. That's Google food, guys. That's Google food. This is what you're really going to do with it. You're going to send that traffic somewhere else. Okay? And we'll show you guys this side of things. Today's presentation, guys, was brought to you by Jason Nedrick of SERPtech fame. All right? It's his plugin, but he's working with Todd and I to release it under our brand, so he's going to be with us for this. And Friday, we're going to show you guys the results of today's build, and then we're going to show you Steven's plugin, or sorry, software, I should say, not plugin. And obviously, you guys are kind of getting the idea of what local supremacy is about, but we're going to cover it in detail. I know already there's a lot of people that are like, well, overlays get de-indexed in Google. Well, so do frickin' mass site builds sometimes. But guys, all 4 of us are SEOs. Todd, Jason, myself, and Steven. We're all SEOs. We're all very familiar with all the mass page builders out there. We're all very familiar with all the other overlay softwares out there. Okay, we are SEOs. We're in this community. We have 2 pieces of software here that do what all the other ones cannot do. And that's kind of the SERPtech thing, guys, is the badass thing that gets you to dominate page 1. And we'll talk about local and why it's so good and why it's safe to use for overlays on Friday. $50, Fred. They're both going to cost $50 together. One time. You guys, as well, for everyone that's asking about what time's the webinar going to be Friday, it's going to be the same time that it was today, except it'll be on Friday. You're already registered, seeing that you're on this webinar. When you registered for this one, you were absolutely already automatically registered for the other one. And we are not going to obviously release pricing and shit like that until we show you guys what you actually have. That wouldn't make sense. How long has the asbestos settlement site been up? I can show you guys, actually. I'll show you the builds, okay? My test. I'm a real anal kind of guy. And I track the shit out of everything. So let me actually open this up a bit more to you guys. All right. Here's all the sites I've been building, guys, from SERPtech. Trying to learn how to use it, get better at it, get better at building at it. Here's my builds, okay? Asbestos Law Pro was registered, the one that you guys are looking at, was registered on March 19th and built on March 19th. So it's 10 days old. I put one backlink to it on March 21st. And then I'm tracking my indexings. You can see all that. So I did Asbestos Service Pro, Personal Lawyer Pro, Bitcoin for sale online. How do I buy? Blah, blah, blah. I did an affiliate style site. So everybody's asking, can you do other shit? I did an affiliate style site that's all based on different categories of weight loss pills. So like weight loss pills, weight loss supplements, weight loss juice, weight loss tabs, weight loss whatever, Garcinia cambogia, raspberry ketones, shit like that. So I know a lot of people, can you use this for affiliate? Yeah, you can. It's a little bit more difficult. You really have to think about your planning of your keywords and your LSIs and shit like that, but it is possible to do. I am doing it and testing it. Century Clinic is one that I'm doing for Century Clinic. What was that? That was like breast reduction, all plastic surgery. Sorry, that's what it was. Plastic surgery. All kinds of plastic surgery all over the place. Datametrics Corp guys, I know a lot of people are thinking, hey, if I can rank with an 88-cent domain with no SEO in 24 hours, what can I do with a more powerful domain like an expired domain or an auction domain, right? And if anybody's thinking about that, that's what this one is. And it was expired, guys, and not indexed. Excuse me. It was expired and not indexed when I had that. And within a day, it was indexed because I built that one yesterday. And you can see today it's got its first index page. Don't site check these, once again, guys. I'll show you what happens on Friday if you don't site check them. But I just want to be very, very open and show you guys, like, I'm doing a lot of this shit. I'm testing, I'm learning, I'm getting better. And then Vision Sobriety Pro is what we did today, March 29th, built on March 29th. This can be used for local, it can be used for AdSense, rehab leads, lead gen, all kinds of shit like that, okay?
Another point to make here, and I see this question coming up a few times already, is like, you know, why don't you target every city in every state in every country of the world? And you know what, guys? That really doesn't work out too well. It's too much. It's too big. It's too fast.
Yeah, like why would you want to slap Google right in the face with your website? It's like walking up to Google and kicking them in the nuts.
That's been tried and tried and tried, and it's failing faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that you'll learn once you get inside with all the training and the to-dos and how to do this correctly and properly. And, don't ever build a 10,000 page site.
We built a 334 post site, guys. So that's it.
Yeah, it's targeting 2 huge states.
Huge.
And there's, I would take it a little bit at 88 cents per domain. These are running really well, ranking really well. Just buy 10 of them. And really, anything can happen on one of these sites, right? I mean, for 88 cents and 30 minutes of work, but in the end, who really cares? Build 10 more, and don't put all your, you wouldn't want to put all your eggs in one basket anyway. So don't worry about, it doesn't work because I can't build 50,000 pages. You don't want to do that.
No.
If anyone sells you any software and says this is the best practice, run, because they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, there was a big mass page software that was just released a while ago. You guys saw me and Todd post in the group to warn you guys about that. Number one of the things they did on their sales page is they all their example sites that they said they used that they built to rank were not even WordPress sites, but they're selling an SEO WordPress plugin. Like it's shit. These things are good. Like Jason has obviously built a really good thing here. We're not putting out crap here, guys. The reason it takes us so long to get this shit out to you is because we're so crazy about testing it and making sure these theories work before we bring it to you guys, because we're not salespeople, we're SEOs. So we build good tools, and I hope you guys know that. I think you've seen that.
Yeah, let me step back a little bit when we start talking about, you know, mass page builders. I built one about 10 years ago, and it used dedicated servers, and it was, you know, you had to have a dedicated server, and it was expensive, but we could build 100,000 pages of content quickly. We would drip in 2,000 or 3,000 pages per day, and they got huge traffic, huge spiders, and Google allowed it for a long time. It worked well for a few years. I mean, we were in the $10,000 a month AdSense club, all of us. I had a whole data center full of servers that everyone was using to build these pages. So it did work at one time, but it worked so well that Google finally, you know, kind of caught on to it. It kind of started shutting us all down. And yeah, sure, we were using cheap domains, and we were burning them pretty fast. And you know, eventually, the time to live got so low that it just kind of wasn't feasible anymore. Then we had to, you know, rethink it. I sort of got away from that a few years ago. But just so you know, I mean, I do know what I'm talking about when I know about massive page builders and experience in that area. So, you know, when I see this, I mean, I love its concept. I love its ease of use. I just love everything about it. And more importantly, the awesome indexing that it gets, and the rankings are just there left and right.
Jason, if you're still on, man, I'd love to have you come on and comment, being that you're the brains behind the operation here, and say any piece that you want.
Yeah, I'm still on, definitely still on. So, I mean, like you said, there's other applications out there, but, you know, I think it's the simplicity of how we build. If you've ever tried to create a silo mass site, it's like pulling teeth, to be honest. And this is, you know, it's very logical. It flows. You do the homepage, the category, the post, and that's pretty much it. And I think, like you said, Herc, you know, when we first kind of started our initial discussions, and, you know, you were asking me, you know, oh, why don't you do this? You know, good practice, why don't you do that? And I was saying, you know, Herc, listen, just throw the content onto the site, make sure you interlink it, follow the good practice I give you, and that's it. And, you know, we're cranking out these sites left, right, and center, and they're doing serious damage. Again, just like Todd was saying, this is going back to the good old days where, you know, you could take 10, 15 spots, you know, first, second page of Google. You know, it's not been done. It hasn't been done for years, to be honest. You know, and that's why we're really excited about it, because it's bringing back the good old days, and, you know, it's just doing so much damage.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that Jason's one of those kind of guys, you know, like myself, we've used them all. We've tried all the mass page builders out there. We've seen where they're good, and then we've seen where they fail, and things like that. So Jason has a lot of experience, more than me, of current experience. Like I said, I did most of my mass page building kind of in the past. But yeah, Jason has really been on top of this kind of stuff for the last 5 years. I mean, you know, when I first heard about Jason and we got to talking about this, I was kind of like, yeah, well, you know, I've been down that road before, and, you know, sometimes it doesn't end well. And I've seen a lot of the other ones that are out there right now that haven't been even starting well. You know, one of them died before it even went for sale. And then I've seen other ones that are just kind of shams. There's a few decent ones out there, but I'm not hearing great things about them anymore. You know, so yeah, so we started, you know, hanging out with Jason and learning really what he's got going on here, and really excited to be a part of it and start using it.
Seen a lot of questions coming in.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Oh, Bill, are we using any local schema markup on the posts? No, we're not even. The crazy thing about these rankings, guys, is literally what I just did is all we've been doing to get those rankings. That's it. We're just building the sites. That's it. No schema,
Yeah.
no backlinks, no social, no citations, no nothing. Literally.
And that was the point. And that was the point. We want to know how this works out of the gate with no SEO other than the on-page factors that we're putting in here. And blows me away. Now, can you imagine when you start doing a little bit of SEO to these sites and these domains? Going places.
I see a couple people too asking about certain little parts of the plugin, like where'd you get that article scraper, where'd you get the indexer? Guys, it's one thing, it's one tool. SERPtech is one tool. It does your content generation, it does your building, and it does your index for you. It's one single tool. Could you use this to build your own quality sites with a decent theme? Yeah, well, I guess you could if you wanted to, Will, but that's really not the point of what we're doing here. This is kind of like, and you guys, when you get a hold of this tool, feel free to try everything under the sun. Okay, testers are the people who really make SEO progress, right? They're the guys that are like, there's everybody that does everything everyone else has taught them to do. And then there's those little friggin' hackers that just keep trying and trying and trying shit, and they're the ones that make breakthroughs. But with this one, guys, if you want to get the fast results that we're getting, kind of follow the crowd and do what I just taught you to do. But for anyone that wants to use it to build your own quality sites, just be a little bit faster, you can do that as well. How many sites would you build to cover 50 states? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't do too many. I would build, maybe 4 states or 5 states tops. Jason would probably answer that better than I would.
For me, it's about spreading the risk. There are 2 things I do. Is obviously we build our sites in master overlay and redirect to money sites. But the other thing is, in terms of longevity, these sites do last. So once they start earning, my end game is always to sell the sites. So rather than sell a masked site that's like 50,000 posts or whatever it is, what we're doing is selling the site by state. So, rather than, for example, if you sold that site, hypothetical figure, say if you sold that site for 2.5K, now think about it, if you had 10 of those sites, targeting each different state, you could command, obviously a decent price for those sites, especially if you take them to other platforms where, people really want these types of lead gen sites,
Sorry, I just muted there for a second. My dog's going. Can you incorporate e-commerce sites into this? We could probably incorporate products into this. One of the things that we talked about was the ability to build out like affiliate sites or, launch jacking sites. That all comes down to keyword research and how you plan your keywords. But yeah, you can absolutely do that sort of stuff. Fred, in Project Supremacy, so Fred's like digging into the nitty-gritty of the site, and that's an option you can turn on or off. He's saying the open graph data supplied by Project Supremacy tag, that's an option in the plugin, man. You don't have to have that in there if you don't want. But once again, does it matter? No. I mean, if everybody, I know what you're thinking footprint. If everybody who used Yoast, if every site that used Yoast, it was a footprint because it's an SEO plugin, every site on the internet would disappear. Remember, guys, a footprint is something that's like you're getting caught doing something against Google Terms of Service. I guess MassPage is against Google Terms of Service, but these things are hiding really, really well, and they're relatively small. Okay, there's a little bit of magic in why we rank for so many sites on 334 posts.
Yeah, 334 posts. That could literally turn into 1,000 unique URLs ranking.
Errol, we're buying cheap domains at Namecheap. Almost every registrar should have a place to go to find 88-cent domains.
Namecheap has, what did we see, 5 or 6 different extensions, different TLDs that were 88 cents. .pro, .online.
Oh man, there's so many.
Yeah, there were quite a few different ones. Stay away from XYZ. I think those got burned by the last mass page builders. Trying to mix it up a little bit.
Susanna, would it help with longevity if you use schema? That'd probably Jason answered that. I don't think it would hurt as long as you didn't spam your schema too bad.
Yeah, I think that's the key right there. Not to overdo it.
No, Martin. SERPtech doesn't build. It's not like SE Nuke where it goes out and builds like Facebook profiles and shit like that. It's not like that at all. It just it just helped me build a really big site. Well, not really big. It's 300 pages, but it helped me build 300 pages in like 20 minutes. You know, that are optimized, rank really well, but it doesn't do anything like 2.0 stuff. Is SERPtech in beta? No. SERPtech is, that's another point actually, because you guys, I know a lot of you are looking at how we're releasing Project Supremacy v3, and the truth is we're releasing pre-beta, beta, and then internal, and the reason we're doing that, guys, is because that thing literally has so many moving parts. We have to move slowly to bring it out to market properly so that when we release it, you know, and 1,000 people start using it, we don't get swamped with all these bugs. So we have to do it in small bites, right? 100 people use it, and then they say it's once the majority of them are pretty confident, then we maybe move to 1,000 users. Once the majority of them are confident, then we put it out on the public. SERPtech is a lot smaller of a software than Project Supremacy v3 is, which is why there's really no beta. But that doesn't mean for a second that we're not going to like continue to look at the plugin and develop it. Jason's already told me about a whole bunch of new things that he's going to be putting into the plugin that are really, really killer and really, really awesome. But they need to be tested first by him and his team, and then probably by myself and Todd. Once we test things, then we'll give the green light and we'll update that. So what you get, like if you guys decide that you do want this plugin, what you get today won't be the same thing that you have like 3 or 4 weeks from now. It'll be a better plugin in that amount of time because it's being developed and improved quite a bit. And user feedback always helps that to move forward. Can you build 3 sites, wait a couple months, and build more states? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Martin, can you drip your posts? That's one of the things we're actually talking about doing rather than slamming them all out there. But to be honest, it's still working. Jason, can you build on top of build? So can you expand? So like say I wanted to add more states to this, could I expand it?
Yeah, I do that all the time, to be honest. So I'd go in, build out, say 2 to 4 states, and then if I see the traction's happening very quickly, then I'll just add a few more states in.
So as long as you don't use like the same states or cities, you won't overwrite anything. It'll be completely new stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to overwrite. You know, if you've got, well, not if, when you've got decent rankings, you don't want to kind of hinder that. But if you want to obviously take on more sort of real estate into digital real estate, then yeah, just stick in more categories, more keywords, and away you go.
What's the best way to monetize this, Will? I mean, there's a million ways to do it. Basically, we're building traffic funnels, so funnel that traffic to whatever type of offer you want. I mean, typically, even I kind of think sometimes it'd be like, you know, if you have a sticky client that doesn't really believe that you're good, like, where's your portfolio? It'll be like, tell you what, I'll come back in 2 days, and if I can't impress the shit out of you, then I don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways to monetize it. Can you add pages to the site with your own content? Yes, Rick, of course. It is your site. It is WordPress. So if you want to go in and add another page, it works no different than WordPress does. This is WordPress. I mean, you can add your own posts. You can add your own pages. I'll show you guys the pages. These are built. It built the pages and the category posts for us. Like there's the Arizona and the keyword, if you remember. But it built the homepage for us, and then it builds all the posts, links them all properly, all that great stuff. Where does SERPtech get the keywords from? Secret sauce, Michael. It just does. Why is this working and will it last? Why are bushes bushy? Why are shorts short? I don't know, James. It works. Will it last? Nobody can answer that. Nobody knows what Google's up to. It's been working. It's been lasting for as long as Jason's been doing it. Obviously, he didn't spend a lot of time and money to develop a tool thinking that this is something that's just going to evaporate on him in a short amount of time. That's for damn sure. I know that. Armand, yes, you can add your own YouTube videos. I didn't show it in the builder, but there was a YouTube button that you could have added YouTube videos. But guys, like, I know you guys are so much like me, man, and I can't fault anybody for this, but now that I'm on the other side of building, what I showed you, literally what I just did, is when I started getting results. Like, the less I did, the less I tried to be clever, the better results I got. And I know that's so hard to believe. It was hard to believe for me. I'm still going to be testing out my little hacks, of course, but what I just showed you guys is literally what is getting results. When you get several pages on one site, can you redirect each page to a different URL? Paul, that's going to be covered on Friday, but Local Supremacy has the ability to set up something called wildcards, where any page on your site that has the word Phoenix in it, you can rent it out to a certain client, or any page that, you know, is in a category you can rent out to a certain client. But yes, you can do what you're asking. What are all the other Supremacy plugins, Jim? There's not that many. AMP, okay, I think AMP is confusing you guys in Local Supremacy. Maybe you're seeing this, so I'll just cover that. Don't worry about AMP. AMP's just a free AMP plugin, okay? That's just off WordPress. I just put that on there because I'm an idiot and I shouldn't have done that because I'm creating questions. Local Supremacy is on there because Friday we're going to show you guys how to hook up SERPtech sites to Local Supremacy so that you can rent them out to clients or overlay affiliate pages or landing pages or opt-in pages or whatever. That's why Local Supremacy is there. Project Supremacy is my SEO plugin or mine and Todd's SEO plugin that we developed. And that is to control the titles and the descriptions of the posts and shit like that. Okay, that's like Yoast. Except Yoast is a bad word for us. But if you want to use Yoast, go ahead. It works with Yoast. But Project Supremacy is better.
Hey, just out of curiosity, I have one of my older products called Spider Spanker. And I just wondered, if you have Spider Spanker, put a 1 for me in the chat box. Maybe a 2 if you don't. Okay, lots of 1s. Lots of 1s. Some 2s. Some 2s. Thank you. Thank you.
Steve.
Right on. Right on. You know, guys, the very, very original concept and version of Spider Spanker was for these kinds of sites. Because at some point you'll notice that the spider activity just goes through the roof when you have all these pages and all this interlinking going on, and it really can overwhelm your servers. And me being a web hosting provider as well, I see that, understood it, and that was the original reason behind Spider Spanker. It wasn't to stop Majestic originally. That's what it became. But originally it was to control all the crazy spiders that really you don't even want. And I remember quite clearly, it was actually Baidu, the Chinese search engine, had just come online way back then. And their spider was so aggressive, it was ridiculous. That spider would just never go away. And it would completely ignore the robots file. So if you told it to not come in, it came in anyway and just completely wreaked havoc on our sites and our servers and our server resources, namely. So just checking how many of you guys have Spider Spanker, because you are going to want to use Spider Spanker on these sites. I highly recommend it to keep all of the shit bots away from your site. I mean, because you know you're really only going to want Google, Bing, and I think Slurp is Bing now anyway. But those are really the only ones that matter. All the other bots are worthless, and so just wanted to check who all had it and who all didn't.
Steven just started a PS yesterday, loves it, been doing SEO for 17 years, last 6 white hat with a large company. You know, guys, this is more of obviously a black hat, and Todd and I thus far have remained very white hat. And I don't know, like the way I feel about black hat versus white hat is it's what you're doing is it's not illegal versus, it's not legal versus legal. You're not going to go to jail for doing any of this shit. It's just, is it against Google's terms of service? Are you going to get de-indexed? That's going to jail. It's Google jail is de-indexed. And yeah, if you get caught, there's a chance you can get your site de-indexed. But
if it were illegal, I'd be on death row.
It just works so well that, I mean, why not take advantage of it while you can? You know what I mean? That's really what the Google game is about. Google, people figure out the little loopholes and we exploit it until Google does their thing, and then they close it up, and then we go find another exploit. And it's a yin and yang game with Google, and it always has been, and it always will be. That's kind of why when we saw this plugin, we're like, you know what? Screw it, man. Let's just get into this. It works. And it works. The other thing is that it works so damn well. Never seen anything like it with these results, you know? How come scheme is disabled? Because I just didn't want to complicate the build. I just wanted to show you guys the bare naked baby. Guys, cost-wise, we're not going to talk about cost, obviously, until we show you everything, which is after Friday. So Friday, we'll show you the results of this build, provided nobody messed it up. And then we'll talk about local supremacy and why it's a safe alternative for overlaying these sites. I think we're going to... Any more, like, good questions here that we should answer? I mean, you guys have been basically answering like...
We're reaching the 2-hour mark here, guys, so we're going to have to wrap this up. Like I said, as we said in the beginning, nothing's for sale. We just wanted to show you guys all about SERPtech and build a site, and we're going to come back on Friday. We're going to check the results. We're going to review some results of some other sites, and then we're going to go into the second phase of this, which is local supremacy, which is going to show you how to take all of this traffic and monetize it in any way you can think of on any kind of site you want. A super call to action site where it's just a guy standing there holding a contact form, you know, and just fill it in, and that's literally what it can be. No content at all, and that's what people will see, and they'll take action on that, and that's how you can make money by selling leads, selling phone calls, good AdSense sites, all of that kind of stuff. We're going to cover on Friday, so please show up and check it out, and we'll give you all the end of the details on the end of that webinar. Sound good? Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yep.
As today.
Becker already knows about this, Charles. Becker and I and Todd, and well, I don't know about Jason and Steven, but Becker and I and Todd all know each other very well. So, game on, yeah. Becker.
Yeah.
We're like, what's 2 big brands of cereals? He's a big brand of cereal, and we're trying to become a big brand of cereal in the internet marketing game. He's got a big head start. Okay, guys.
Yep.
Jason, any last comments? You want to say anything? Everybody say thanks to Jason for developing an amazing software, first of all. He'll answer as many questions as he can maybe on the next webinar. He doesn't talk too much. He basically just makes shit ring.
That's true.
Cheers,
right,
guys.
Yeah, and then Steven was on. He's still on. He will be on a lot more on Friday, quite a bit actually, because local is a big piece of software. It does a lot of crazy shit. And
yeah, Steven's been working on that for a very long time, 1.5 to 2 years probably. Steven, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Blood, sweat, and tears for that one.
Okay, man. as long as you don't hurt yourself chasing ski bunnies around tomorrow, you'll be here on Friday, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Hey,
I'll try to do my best.
Maybe I'll let
Stick
you
to the
run the
green.
webinar.
Stick to the green slopes, okay?
Yeah, I'll stick on the blue ones.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, guys, we will put up a replay soon, probably late tonight or early tomorrow morning, and we will mail you the replay so that you guys can come and watch it again, all right?
All right, sounds great.
Bye-bye,
Catch you
everybody.
guys on
See you on Friday, guys.
Bye-bye.